Welcome back to the cave for this amazing game of the Wawasee Warriors versus the Mishawaka Cavemen. Tonight is a special night here in the cave, folks. It's senior night. Tonight we are going to be celebrating 5 of our Mishawaka seniors. It is Soren Scalati, Alex Lowry, Andy Shields, Cassie Creech, Ellie Adams, and I believe that's all 5. So we're going to go ahead and down to the floor so Mr. Turton can announce all of these lovely ladies, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Volleyball team. Tonight we are celebrating the seniors who have given so much to this program, and deserve the recognition they get. Our first senior is Alex Lowry. Alex is escorted by her mother, Michelle, and her father, Bill. Sports and hobbies include travel volleyball and hanging out with friends and family. Her plans for after high school is to play collegiate volleyball at Olivet Nazarene University and study interior design and architecture. Her favorite memory is Soren's phone getting stuck in the shower wall at the Western Michigan volleyball camp. Her accomplishments are earning a scholarship to play at Olivet Nazarene University. Her advice to underclassmen: this is the fastest 4 years of your life, so enjoy it while it lasts and always give it your all. No matter what, because you don't know who's watching you. Her shout outs for tonight are my family for always supporting me and cheering me on, and my friends for always being there for me, and lastly, my grandma for being my biggest cheerleader. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alex Lowry. Our next senior is Andy Shields. Andy is escorted by her mother, Stacy, and her father, Rodney, and her sister, Sylvia. Her sports and hobbies include volleyball and tennis. Her plans after high school are to move to Florida and start her own business. Her favorite volleyball memory is reverse sweep against Northwood and getting to play with her closest friends junior year. Her accomplishments are graduating with her cosmetology license and NTHS. Her advice to underclassmen: do it for yourself and don't let anyone make you think you're not good enough. Her shout out is thank you to my friends, family, coaches, teammates, and everyone who has supported me along the way. Shout out to Coach Randa for putting so much time, energy, and effort into making the Mishawaka volleyball program a hardworking and positive environment. Thank you for wanting it just as much as I do. I'm so honored to be able to call you my coach and aunt. I also want to thank Sylvia and my mom and dad for always believing in me, especially my dad for never sugarcoating things, whether I did good or bad, and always pushing me to do better. Lastly, I want to thank Coach Robbie. In the 2 years I had you as my coach, you taught me the importance of both the physical and mental parts of the game. Through the ups and downs, I could talk to you about anything, and you understood me more than any coach. I learned so much from you, and there aren't enough words to describe how grateful I am to have had such a great person and coach in my life. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Andy Shields. Our next senior is Cassie Creech. Cassie is escorted by her mother, Donna Creech, and dad, Mike Creech. Her hobbies are volleyball, swimming, tennis, and hanging out with friends. Her plans after high school are to study business management and become a collegiate coach after finishing her collegiate volleyball career. Her favorite volleyball memory is either getting my 1,000th assist or reverse sweeping Northwood in my junior season. Her accomplishments are 1,000 career assists, coming back from an ACL, MCL, and meniscus injury, NLC All-Conference Offensive MVP her junior year, South Bend Tribune Athlete of the Week, 4-year varsity starter, graduating with 12 varsity letters and graduating in the top 15 of the class of 2026. Her advice to underclassmen: if you can't say something to someone's face, don't say it to anyone. This sport should be fun and something people look forward to and create connections through. Cassie's shout-outs, I'd like to shout out with my coaches, specifically Mom, who has coached me my whole life and helped me develop my love for this game. Adria, who has helped me grow into the player I am today, and Randa, who has helped develop my IQ and setting abilities. I also want to shout out AJ, Fran, Chad, and Ken, my physical therapist who helped me come back from my ACL injury, and my whole family who has continued to support me through club volleyball, mainly my mom, dad, and sister, who have given up everything to let me live my dream. And finally, to any teammate that I've had the honor to play with, thank you for encouraging me and being so kind to me throughout my 4 years here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cassie Creech. Our next senior is Soren Sculati. Soren is escorted by her mother, Sarah, her mother, Terry, and cousin, Victoria. Her sports and hobbies include travel volleyball, traveling, tanning, and hanging out with friends. Her plans after high school are playing volleyball in college and getting a master's degree in social work. Her favorite memory is dropping her phone in between the shower wall at the Western Michigan volleyball camp. Her accomplishments are 3-year varsity starter and first in blocks for MHS in 2024. Her advice to underclassmen is push yourself the best you can during workouts, even if you can't push anymore. In the end, it will pay off and do you justice. Don't quit on a good opportunity. Her shout out is for Randa and Steve Anderson. I just want to thank you to Randa Adams and Steve Anderson for always pushing me and making me into the athlete that I am today. I'm very thankful that they saw what was in me and made it come to life. They will always and forever have a special place in my heart. You guys are the reason why I can take the next step in volleyball. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for senior Soren Sculati. And our last senior tonight is Ellie Adams. Ellie is escorted by her mom, Randa, and dad, Kevin. Her sports and hobbies include hanging with the fam, especially Misha, watching movies, drawing, and hanging with friends. Her plans after high school is to go to college, get a good job, and have a family. Her favorite volleyball memories are reverse sweep win against Northwood her junior year and playing with my sister and having my mom as a coach. Her accomplishments are 1,000 kills, 1,000 digs, all-region, all-conference, MVP, an NHS member, an MYAC member, and her advice to underclassmen: use the time we are fortunate enough to have for something great. It's better to live with failure than regret. You still have time, don't waste it. Her shout out is thank you to all my coaches, all my teammates, friends, family, and teachers, especially Mrs. Montero, for helping me through the years and teaching me many lessons about volleyball, friendships, life, and love. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for senior Ellie Adams.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after that senior night. Congrats to all of our Mishawaka seniors. I know we have quite a few of them for this season, and it is definitely going to be a different year next year.
Yeah, Randa was talking about before the game that she was unsure about how this season was going to go, but she was immensely impressed with the progress that the seniors especially have made as players and as people. She realizes that we'll be losing key people, but she's looking forward to the young people who will come up and fill their shoes.
All right, Kira. Well, we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to go play Commissioner's Corner, and we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Over to our IHSAA Commissioner.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, thanks for taking time to join us. Appreciate it. Man, what a busy time of year. Golf championships coming up at Prairie View. Soccer starts on Monday. Volleyball pairing show on Sunday. And week number 7 of high school football. What a busy weekend for everyone.
Yeah, it's really been a great fall, Coach. And, it's, things are coming. It's fun to get out and watch these student athletes. They've been obviously started way back in the summer,
right?
Developing their skill set with their coaches, and this is a time of year where you hope all that extra work pays off a little bit, and it's really exciting. And the golf tournament this weekend is going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be a record setter. We've already had some tournament records set on the way through the sectional round and the way to get to the state finals. And another thing that we kick off this weekend is our unified flag football, and that starts across the state this weekend. That's an incredible program that we have where, we have traditional student athletes pair with other teammates from their school that have an intellectual disability, and they compete together as one, and it's really a phenomenal program, and we'll be celebrating the state championship in that sport here real soon.
I think the phenomenal part about unified flag football going back is it was a student-driven initiative. They took it upon themselves to begin the process to get this recognized as an IHSA sport, and it was a groundswell of support amongst kids around the state of Indiana to do this, which I think I admire their resolve and their perseverance and how they went about making this happen.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job, and I was around when that originally got started, and it was and Commissioner Cox at the time challenged students to bring something to the table that they could do with our student advisory committee, 19 kids from around the state, and this is what they came up with. And then what's cool, it's become a national model. There's many states that have developed a unified program over the years now, and we continually see growth, and again, it's great. And everybody says, the one thing it does, it changes the culture of your schools, and it allows students that didn't get to eat at the so-called cool kids table during lunch, and now they're all together, and it's just been a phenomenal addition to the sport offerings that we have.
All right, week 7 of high school football, and then on the 12th of October, the pairing show for the upcoming state championship. I can't believe we're at that point of the year.
It is. It's here, and let's go. That's kind of the theme. Let's go. It's going to be. First of all, I look forward to the pairing show. It's an opportunity to learn some things about high school football with our talented team of experts. And you're certainly the lead of that, Coach. And and again, it's fun to celebrate the the athlete successes. And there's not a pairing show for the AAU tournament coming up, and there's not a pairing show for a lot of other things.
Right.
But there is for high school athletics that are education-based, and we want to make sure we protect this along the way.
He's the commissioner of the IHSAA. It's Paul Neidig. Our weekly conversation about all things IHSAA related. We always remind you, go out, buy a ticket. I remind you to buy 2 instead of 1. Make your contribution on a daily and weekly basis to help fund our athletic programs for our student athletes around the state. Commissioner, Have a great weekend. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Coach. I look forward to our weekly conversations.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
And we are back in the cave after senior night and Commissioner's Corner. Kira, what are we looking forward in tonight's game? It's the last home game here in the cave for the 2025 season. What are we looking forward to?
Yeah, obviously I'm hoping that the Cavemen pull through and perform really well tonight, especially like you said, since it's senior night. They are very emotional. There are a lot of tears,
Yes.
so hopefully that won't interfere with the playing, but who could blame them?
Oh, I say it all the time, like, I'm a junior, and sometimes I'm just standing there, I'm like, wow, in a year from now, I'm not going to ever be around these people again. Like, it is really sad, but again, hopefully it doesn't impact their play a little bit. We have all 5 seniors playing and starting today.
Yeah, including Coach Randa Adams' daughter.
Ellie Adams.
Yes, her second daughter to graduate as a volleyball player, and it's going to be her last year having a daughter on a team she's coaching, so that's very emotional for her.
Yeah, you know, we saw during senior night, Ellie's older sister, Emily, I think that's her name, you know, just being able to see both of those daughters go through their programs. Look, I will say that is definitely her daughter. Anyways, back to a little bit of volleyball. You know, Kira, we talked to Coach Randa a lot about what we're looking forward to next season. I know the season's not quite over yet, but if we can go ahead and get that anticipation there, what are we looking for next season?
Yeah, so obviously we're losing key players. I mean, all of our seniors who are graduating are starters, so we're going to lose some key players, but Randa said she was confident in the ability for the younger players to be able to step up and fill their shoes. Like I said, it was a great season, and she was amazed with the progress that these players have had. But yeah, she's definitely a little nervous for next year, but everyone always is. But she's definitely confident in the young players' ability to step up and fill those shoes.
Yeah, you know, while we have a few minutes here, we're going to get away from volleyball a little bit. There's a lot going on at the school in the next couple weeks, Kira. Do you want to start telling us about what's tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow is the varsity football game, which we'll be covering on the network.
Do you know why it's such an important game for the Cavemen?
Yes, isn't... You'll have to tell me.
So tomorrow's game is against the Warsaw Tigers. Not the only team we played in the NL, or not the last team that we need to play. We still have Wawasee after that. But the Cavemen have a big matchup. Not only is the Tigers head coach a former Mishawaka coach, but we're also undefeated in the NLC right now. It is a big game for the Cavemen. Like, I cannot make it known how big of a deal this game is for the Cavemen, because Warsaw is a very good team. You know, they were state runner-up last year in 5A, I believe, 5A. And it's definitely going to be a hard game for the Cavemen, but make sure you check it out on IHSAA TV or Mishawaka Network. Kira, what's going on Saturday?
Yeah, so in unsports-related news, we have the trunk or treat going on where anyone can come and enjoy, dress up, have some fun, get some candy.
Yeah, our MEF trunk or treat is coming up tomorrow. So we have a lot going on at the Cavemen. A lot of teams and teachers and staff go and they'll have their trunks open for kids to go get treats. And then show choir will also be performing tomorrow from 4:30 to 7. Make sure you're there, be square. Even though it is very hot, it's supposed to be 87. So let's make sure we are staying hydrated. But that's all for this week. Next week, we have a lot of broadcasts going on. On Wednesday, we have the school board meeting at Beaker Elementary. Tuesday, we have the fall choir concert, which any students listening, also remember that is PSAT testing day. So make sure you get a lot of sleep. Choir kids, rest your vocals. I know I'll definitely have to do that. And just get ready for those PSATs. After that, Kira, do you know what that weekend is, the 11th and 12th?
I do not.
You don't. Well, it's a big thing for the Mishawaka theater community.
Oh, it's your new inspector play.
Yes, the Mishawaka theater is putting on the government inspector. I personally am not in this one, although I wish I would be. We have a lot of network children. Yes, and Grant Metzinger, who's sitting next to me, staring at me, can vouch for that one. We got a lot of Mishawaka Network kids in there. It is definitely a young cast. A lot of your big names that we have seen in the musical, seen in past fall plays, aren't in this one. So it'll be interesting to see a lot of new faces, but you can't discredit it yet. I'm definitely excited to see that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on attending.
Yeah.
So hopefully a lot of other people are showing up to support our theater program.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go with my mom, so maybe you'll see me there in the crowd, guys. All right, Tuesday the 14th, Kira. Any idea what's going on then?
Nope.
Nope. Lucky for you, I have a calendar in front of me.
That's
It
handy.
is the Fall Festival of Strings. So our orchestra will have their concert. I believe it is just orchestra, but I'm not 100% sure, so nobody quote me on that one. So we have yes, I just got verification. It is just orchestra. So we're getting excited for the orchestra concert, getting excited for everything going on in Mishawaka. That's just a couple things happening in the next 2 weeks. But Kira, it really is a lot happening.
A lot.
Yeah. Is there anything else exciting going on around the school? I'm trying to think while I'm talking here.
Well, I do know, not necessarily exciting, but there have been a lot of talk about the PSATs next Thursday.
Ooh, don't remind me, Kira.
A lot of my friends are already planning their Starbucks orders to keep them awake throughout the day. That's going to be a tough one, testing.
You know what? Last year, this is my junior year, so I do have to take the SATs, unfortunately.
Oh.
But we also have to take the PSATs. So we have the PSATs next week. And last year, Kira, I'm going to be honest, I slept through the entire test. Mr. Rundle, our teacher, can vouch for that. He was not happy. So I apologize, Mr. Rundle. This year we got to lock in. No sleeping through the test. Junior year, got to lock in. Getting those scores ready for colleges.
Yeah, I remember I did not come from this school district, so
Yeah.
I went to a small private school where I was not even aware of PSATs. Well, I knew they existed. I didn't know what they were, and so I don't even remember taking it last year because I didn't even know what they were.
That's all right. Yeah, we got the PSATs coming up next week. I feel like there's something else going on, Kira. I gotta be honest.
Can't think of anything right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of classes have a bunch of projects
Yeah.
going on right now.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing in Mr. Rundle's class right now?
Yeah, so right now we're doing the shot by shot project, which
Wait,
is
you guys
where
are doing the shot for shot too?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's where you copy a scene from a film and try and recreate it exactly with the same, try and match up the audio, match up the visuals, the camera angles, make it look as close to that film as you can.
Yeah.
I'm working with Eli and Grant on our project where we're doing a scene from Tommy Boy.
All right.
We were filming today and we got a good chunk of it done, and I have to say it looks pretty good so far,
Okay.
but we'll see how it ends up. And then I know in drawing, I'm with Mr. Sargent.
Mr. Sarge, what
Yes.
a guy. Shout out
We're-
Mr. Sarge.
I'm just about wrapping up my ink project. So
Oh,
we're
yeah?
using ink pens, and I am making my cat Luna.
Oh,
And let me
that's
tell
cool.
you, I knew she was furry. I didn't quite know how furry until I had to literally draw every single hair on her head and mane.
Fun.
And she's a Maine Coon, so she
Oh
is
my gosh,
fluffy
yes.
and big.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, Kira. Anyway, we talked about the shot for shot, so let's talk about that a little bit. I know I'm working on Descendants.
Really?
Yes.
I was obsessed with that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, in the first scene, or not in the first scene, in the first movie when they're in the goodness class, and
Yes.
the fairy godmother is teaching them how to be good, how to not be villains.
Yes.
We're recreating that scene.
Oh, that's
with
a classic.
Karma Johnson as the fairy godmother, and Evan Lynn, shout out Evan Lynn, as Jane.
Oh, wow.
So that is definitely going to be a fun one to watch.
So that's why you guys were watching Descendants in class? I thought you guys were just goofing off.
No, well, let's be honest. I probably was.
Yeah.
No, I had a purpose in what I was doing. Look, I might goof off a lot, but a lot of times I do have a purpose in what I'm doing. It just might seem really, really stupid at the time.
Yes.
You know what? There's people in advisory doing Just Dance, so I can't talk.
That's fair. I love my guilty pleasure is doing the crossword when I should be doing homework.
Oh yeah, Sportle, or not Sportle, Spottle.
Spottle?
You don't know what Spottle is?
No.
Okay, do you know what Wordle is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like Wordle, but it's like artists. So it will show you like let's take Taylor Swift for example. Speaking of Taylor Swift, but let's just use Taylor Swift. So let's say the artist that we're looking for is from the U.S. They're a male and their popularity is like 130 or something. So if we use Taylor Swift, it will tell me that it's not a male or that's not a female and that it's not all these categories, and and eventually you got to guess it until you get the right person. Anyways, I'm being cut off here. So let's go over to a few ad breaks from our amazing sponsors.
Forte Waterproofing is celebrating over 60 years of satisfied customers. Experience, innovation, hard work, confidence, pride, honesty, integrity, determined, committed to achieve excellence. Fix it with Forte, fix it for good.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Get your costumes ready for the Mishawaka Trunk or Treat. It's a safe, fun, and spooky good time for all elementary students. Join us Saturday, October 4th, held in the staff parking lot at Mishawaka High School from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for an evening of treats, decorated cars, and costumes. The Mishawaka Education Foundation is looking for candy donations to help make this event a success. Your help makes a difference, and we'll see you there. Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free.
Welcome back to the cave, folks. You just saw the last time we'll be playing that volleyball hype video. I know, it's very sad, isn't it?
We're losing a lot of great girls. It's sad to see them go.
Absolutely. You know what? I can't wait for next season, though. Just gotta wait for more to come. I keep hyping up my senior year. next season is going to be interesting for us all.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know what? When you take over for me in a couple years, you'll be talking about me like we talk about Brady Gallo. Actually, shout out Brady Gallo. Like, let's take a minute. What a guy. I was just texting him. Well, I wasn't really texting him the other day. I texted him and I was asking him for some broadcast advice. And if you're wondering who that is, go back a couple years ago, not last year, but the year before, and check out some of the volleyball or any other games because he was pretty good at what he did. All right, Kira. You know, we talked about a lot of random things. I wanted to talk about Taylor Swift, but unfortunately I was told not to. Later. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're excited to get tonight? You know, we have a graphic of Ellie Adams on the screen. Let's talk about Ellie Adams for a minute here.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the key players on the team. Obviously important as the coach's daughter. She was escorted by the coach out today, if you're paying attention.
Yeah, she was escorted by her mom, dad, and sister. Which actually, I didn't even think she knew it was going to be her sister. You know, let's talk about our next senior tonight, Cassie Creech, another key player here at Mishawaka, the setter for the Cavemen.
Yeah, you really get to know a person when you say their name like 100 times every night.
Well, even having classes with them, you know, I've had Cassie in my math class for a couple years now. Ellie, I have her in my math class right now. Cal's in my math class. You know, you end up knowing these girls pretty well. You know, I grew up with Alex Lowry. Like, you genuinely get to know these girls, and it is sad to see them leave, even though we are getting quite, even though there is more to come. Fortunately, there definitely is more to come. This is a Caveman legacy we're leaving here behind tonight, Kira.
Yeah, I also know two of the players especially well, Cassie Creech and Andy Shields. They were, as you mentioned, when they were getting called out for senior night, they both had tennis listed as one of their hobbies, and I played on the tennis team last year with them. They were great to hang out with, really bonded. Like, I think Cassie mentioned in her speech that Mr. Turner read out that you really get to know someone, and like being a teammate with someone is really a special bond.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. I definitely understand that one. You know, since we're talking about Andy Shields a little bit, you play with her, you know her as a person. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Andy?
Yeah, she's great. I mean, she performs very well. She's always really hardworking, but she also is just a really great person and likes to have fun and talk with friends and I know. Yeah, she's just a really great person, and I really enjoyed playing tennis with her last year.
Yeah, you know, let's move on to Alex Lowry real fast. Like I said, I grew up with her. We were in Boys and Girls Club together in elementary school, and we were quite close in the fact there was only 3 kids in her grade and then 3 kids in mine. So all of us were pretty tight-knit, and especially since that was COVID year, you know, it's really been nice to get to know her. She's an amazing person. Even better player, and I'm definitely looking forward to see her Instagram post next year when she's at Olivet Nazarene.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely also very fortunate that she's able to play tonight. She was out for the last game, and now she's returning for senior night, so everyone's happy to see her fully recovered and ready to play for her last game at home. Now, moving on to Scorin Scalati, obviously a very impressive player, very tall. If you've ever seen her or just met her in person, I have to look straight up at her. She is one of the best net players we have on this team because of that height with her blocks and her kills.
Yeah, her height definitely plays a big game, and the fact that she gets a lot of those blocks. You know, I call her quite often when I'm talking about that caveman wall that I definitely talk about a lot. Scorin Scalati is one of the people I think of when I say that caveman wall, because a lot of times she's the one leading it.
Yeah, and she also mentioned she was going to school for social work, which I have to commend because social workers are very important and very needed, but often don't really get the recognition they deserve, in my opinion. Yeah, I know my dad is a social worker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, she's going to go to school and play I know she's hoping to play college volleyball. I don't know yet if she has committed to any school, but I'm sure she has definitely had a few offers. But she's also planning on going, like you said, to go get her master's in social work. So there's a couple years of college. There are 6 years of college. But I definitely believe she'll make the best of it.
Yeah, I believe currently we only have one senior committed to college. More than one plans to attend college for volleyball, but one is committed, Alex Lowry, for Olivet Nazarene University. We're going to
we're going to wrap it up real fast. Well, Mishawaka sophomore Eli Elkins goes and sings the national anthem for us, and we'll be back in a few minutes, Kira.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cave at historic Mishawaka High School for tonight's varsity volleyball match. On behalf of our athletic director, Evan Frost, and principal, Chad Brew, we would like to welcome Principal Jeff Walmer, athletic director, Brent Dottie, head coach, Stephanie Denlinger, the players, fans, and family members of the Wawasee Warriors. Tonight's officials are members of the community, just like you. Without them, tonight's game would not be possible. Please give them the courtesy and respect they deserve. The officials for tonight's games are Brenda Overton and Mark Yeoman. Mishawaka High School would also like to thank St. Joseph Health System and certified athletic trainers Hannah Hess and Maddie Hain for working hard to keep our athletes healthy and in the game. Introducing the players available for substitution for the Wawasee Warriors. Number 1, Lily Douglas. Number 2, Sarah Chang. Number 3, Addison De La Grange. Number 5, Elise Berkeypile. Number 7, Ava Mock. Number 10, Chastity Ellick. Number 12, Emily Ringler. And number 14, Danica Miller. Introducing the starting lineup for the Wawasee Warriors. Number 4, Laura Gonzalez. Number 6, Jaden Klanke. Number 8, Berkeley Dolson. Number 9, Hadley Allen. Number 11, Scarlett Hardy. And number 13, Zayla Shortell. The Wawasee Warriors are coached by Stephanie Denlinger and assisted by Corin Nice. Now introducing the players available for substitution for the Lady Cavemen. Number 1, Andy Shields. Number 2, Adelaide Patterson. Number 3, Addison Keene. Number 5, Morgan Ford. Number 8, Isabella Reisky. And number 11, Callahan Steinman. And now, the starting lineup for your Mishawaka Lady Cavemen. Number 4, Ellie Adams. Number 6, Alex Lowry. Number 7, Cassie Creech. Number 9, Soren Stulati. Number 12, Megan Barthel. And number 13, Amelia Amos. The Mishawaka Lady Cavemen head coach is Randa Adams and is assisted by Taylor Strauss, and the manager for the Lady Cavemen is Megan Spencer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the performance of the national anthem. performed by Mishawaka High School sophomore Eli Elkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You know, Kira, I gotta be honest, I am very impressed.
That was an amazing performance by Eli.
Yeah, way to go, Eli.
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
No, well, and I kind of talked to him about it earlier, and what it sounded like is that he didn't have much practice beforehand. So, like, I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, Eli's a great friend of mine. I know he is an amazing singer, but I didn't know he was that good.
No, I didn't know he was good.
He looks very happy with his performance.
Yeah.
As he's going over to hug his parents.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a minute since I've heard him sing, you know, since the musical last year even. So I really didn't know what to expect. I just know what I've heard, and I'm very surprised, Eli. I'm pleasantly surprised.
All right, we're gonna get underway here. Starters are taking their positions on the court. Some last-minute hugs and celebrations before the seniors' last home game begins.
You know, I gotta be honest with you, Kira. I think this is gonna be 3-0 game.
I hope so.
Knock on wood.
I hope so for the players and for us.
Yeah. All right, and then in just a moment, we're gonna get our last senior on the court. Having all the seniors check in and start today's game. All right, there we go. And Cassie's gonna go back to the serving line.
Cassie Creech is gonna be serving for the Cavemen. Received and shanked by Berkeypile.
You know, definitely a good way to start that game off.
Cassie Creech serving again for the Cavemen. Sent over by Berkeypile and sent out.
Yo, what a good catch there from Dolson.
Definitely a good start for this game.
Yeah.
Cassie Creech gonna be serving again.
Which, folks, just real fast, the records are the Mishawaka Cavemen 18-6 and the Wawasee Warriors 4-21.
Scolotti's gonna get that up to Creech, who sets it up for Lowry, who gets the kill.
Yeah, just right in front of Dolson's feet there. That's not Dolson, that is Planky. Creech with her 4th serve.
Received by Berkeyville, set up by Dolson, and it's going to be blocked by the Cavemen. Received by Berkeyville, set up by Dolson and hit over by Gonzalez. It's going to be received by Lowry. Creech is going to set that up for Adams, who gets the kill.
You know, so far, Creech has gotten 4 of the points, and Adams has gotten 1 for the Cavemen.
Yeah. Creech is going to be serving again.
I'm going to try my best to keep a little bit of stats here. No promises, ladies and gentlemen.
Received by Dolson. Oh, and
what a hit there.
Shortill is going to get a kill. Number 9, Hadley Allen is going to be serving for the Wawasee Warriors. It's going to be received by Shields. Creech is going to set up Lowry, who tips it. And that's going to be sent over and out by Shortill.
Point for the Cavemen, 6-1.
Barthel and Steinman are going to be coming in. And Steinman will be serving. It's going to be
a lot of confusion there.
Looks like Allen was a little bit afraid to hit the ball. Just had too much time to second guess herself and ended up not being able to get a good touch on it.
All right, well, that leads us to our first time out of the night from the Warriors. The score is 7-1. The Cavemen are up by 6, and we're going to head over to an ad break.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back to the Cave. Your Mishawaka Cavemen are facing the Wawasee Warriors for senior night. We're currently in the first set. Mishawaka's up by 6. The score is 7-1, and Steinman will be serving for the Cavemen. Going to be hit by Gonzalez, and it's going to be a kill.
Warriors point. The score is 7-2. Coach Miranda keeping that positivity over there down on the field. Not the field, down on the court. I'm so into like football language right now. You know, Kira, real fast while we're staying here, I totally forgot. Soccer boys senior night is tonight.
And girls.
And girls.
A lot of senior nights.
I think the girls already had their senior night.
Maybe, but they are playing tonight.
They are playing tonight. They're both playing Wawasee tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, the girls played first, the boys played second. I wonder if they ever got their game started.
Ellie Adams, one of the seniors tonight, will be serving for the Cavemen. And it's going to be out.
You know, speaking of the boys soccer team, shout out to Mr. Dave Rendell. I hope you're listening to this so I can come annoy you tomorrow. He knows what I mean. I'm telling you, he misses me, Kira. He won't admit it, but I know it.
Yeah, he definitely runs a tight ship during business class.
Yes, he did last year, too.
Number 2, Sarah Cheng is going to serve. Received by Adams. And Lowry is going to hit it. Sent back over by Mock, and it's going to be blocked by the Cavemen.
You know, I wonder if we can get a replay of that real fast so we can see.
Lowry's going to serve it over. It's going to be sent. Creech is going to set that up. It's going to be sent back over by Klinke. Creech setting it up for Lowry.
What
Slams
a
it into the
hit.
wall. Sent back over by Klinke. Creech is going to get it over. And it's a point for the Cavemen.
Cavemen getting loud and excited. We're going to get a replay there. Creech, her 5th point of the set.
Alex Lowry is serving it over for the Cavemen. Set up by Allen. Looked like a fight at the net there. Ref's going to make a call.
Yeah, I think they're going to call number 7 under the net. Number 7, Ava Mock for the Warriors.
Alex Lowry will be serving for the Cavemen. Received by Klinke. And the Warriors are going to let it drop.
Another easy point there for the Cavemen. You know, I just realized that Ellie's banner has cats on it.
Oh, that's cute.
That is cute.
Lowry's serving it over for the Cavemen.
Ooh!
And it's gonna
into the face.
hit Delagrange's face there.
Us will get a replay of that.
It looks like she just slid a bit too far. Couldn't stop.
Ooh, like it hit her like chest
she
and then
went-
bounced up into her.
She went for a slide when she didn't need it, and it ended up hitting her face. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, hopefully.
Creech is going to set it up for Barthel, who gets the point for the Cavemen.
Barthel, the youngest girl on the team. A sophomore.
Yeah, definitely one of the players that Randa was mentioning when she talked about the younger players that are stepping up to fill in the shoes.
Yeah.
Definitely Barthel is one of those.
You know, talking about a girl that I knew, when my mom was in college, she met her mom, and ever since then, you know, Megan and I have been friends.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. We don't hang out too much anymore, though.
Alex Lowry will be serving for the Cavemen. And it's going to hit the net, but go over.
A beautiful, beautiful play there.
It's a nice ace by Lowry.
Oof.
Barely made it over. Lowry
Amazing.
serving again for the Cavemen.
I love a good serve. I love a good serve.
It's going to be tipped and tipped out. Mishawaka get the point.
Get a replay of that. Oh yeah, I see that tipped out by 11. Hardy.
Lowry is going to serve it. Received by Ringler. Set up by Allen. Creech is going to get that over to Amos, who sends it over. It's going to be hit by Pinky. Creech is going to set that up for Amos, who gets another hit.
I can't believe it's still going, Kira.
Me neither. Creech giving it to Barthel.
Keeping it going.
Gets the kill.
Barthel, her 2nd point of the night.
Alex Lowry is going to be serving yet again for the Cavemen. You know, I wish we were keeping track because this is a long run for her. You are. How many? This is her.
This is her 4th.
4th serve? Really? It feels like it's been way longer.
Oh, I mean, I'm keeping points. I'm just keeping track of points.
Oh.
So,
okay.
but I do believe that was her 4th. 90% sure. We need a counter, like a replay counter.
Serving for the Wawasee Warriors is going to be number 8, Berkeley Dolson.
I think we need to bring back in basketball season when Rendell keeps he keeps stats himself for us. I think we need to bring that back.
Definitely.
Petition
Dolson
Mr.
gonna
Rendell
set
to
that
bring
up.
back stats.
And Kenke got the kill.
I was wondering if they're going to call that a touch on Steinman.
I think they did.
No, they said that landed in bounds.
Oh.
Oh, that was definitely in bounds.
Yep, definitely. Serving again for the Warriors, Dolson. Received by Adams. Creech is going to get that over. And it's going to be sent out by the Warriors.
Adams, good eye.
Andy Shields is coming in to serve, another one of the seniors for tonight. Definitely one of their more impressive servers. Set up by Dolson. Creech is going to get that to Scolati, who hits it out.
Gonna call that a Warriors point.
Number 6, Jaden Kenke is going to be serving for the Warriors. Kenke serving it over. Oh, hit. Looks like Shields got hit in the face there.
Ooh. Here, we can see a replay of that, hopefully. You might not be able to see you can't really see what happened because of the angle it's at.
Creech is going to set the ball up for Amos, who hits it out.
You know, Cavemen are going to watch that fire tonight. You know, they're getting excited, they're getting hyped, which is great. Just got to watch that swing.
Mm-hmm. Now, Coach Randa Adams talked to us about how they've made real good progress and they've been talking about keeping their emotions in check throughout the game so that they're able to stay consistent. Looks like that serve's going to go into the net.
The score just went up to 20 there all of a sudden. I don't believe that's right, Kira.
Creech is going to set that for Scolati, who gets a kill. Like we mentioned beforehand, Scolati is a very impressive player up at the net, very good at getting kills and blocks. Amos is going to be serving for the Cavemen. And the Warriors are going to let it drop. That's an ace.
Cavemen
Amos.
point.
Amos is definitely a very good player on the team. Thankfully not a senior, so we'll get to keep her for next year.
No, she is in my graduating class. Again, another girl I grew up with.
It's going to be hit over by Gonzalez. Creech is going to set that up for Scolati. Allen's going to get that over.
Allen looks like she was not
Scolati's
ready for
going to get
that
the
one.
kill.
Great point from Scolati there.
It's like Chang had to almost dodge out of the way for that one.
2 more points until the set.
Amos is going to serve it over. Going to keep that in. So Hardy's going to send it over. Creech sending it up for Adams, who gets a kill. We can see a replay of that one. So strong it knocked Dolson off her feet.
Wow, what a play there from the Cavemen.
You don't see that very often.
No, Amos serving with a set point.
And shanked by Chang. That's going to be the first set for the Cavemen, just winning 25-8. We're going to head to a break, and then when you get back, we'll have the second set ready for y'all.
All right, we'll be back after that.
Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free. Get your costumes ready for the Mishawaka Trunk or Treat. It's a safe, fun, and spooky good time for all elementary students. Join us Saturday, October 4th, held in the staff parking lot at Mishawaka High School from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for an evening of treats, decorated cars, and costumes. The Mishawaka Education Foundation is looking for candy donations to help make this event a success. Your help makes a difference, and we'll see you there.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back to the cave. As you can see, the Mishawaka players are hyped up, dancing, having fun, enjoying their senior night as they should. We just finished up the first set. Mishawaka Cavemen won 25-8. Hopefully they can do that again in the second and third sets, but we'll see. We have about 23 seconds left in this break, and then we're going to be heading into the second set.
Yeah, just a reminder for anybody who wasn't watching, might have just turned it on. The Cavemen won that first set, 25-8.
Definitely a very impressive score. Not that much competition, hopefully. Like I said,
I was saying, don't speak too soon.
Yeah. It's like the girls are taking pictures on the court.
Barthel and Lowry dancing.
Shields is going to come in for Barthel. So in that first set, Cam, what'd you see that you liked?
You know, they definitely had a lot going on there. The Cavemen thinking fast, keeping those sets going as long as they can. And I definitely like seeing a lot of aces there. You know, that was a big issue for the Cavemen throughout this season, is keeping those serves consistent, keeping them powerful, keeping them over the net, keeping them in bounds. And they've done a very good job of keeping that going this season. Or not this season, but this game.
Yeah, definitely impressed with their performance. I thought they might be a little off just because it's such an emotional night, but they're consistent. They have been playing well. They've been on it, and they've still been having fun, so that's amazing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad we get to see them having fun despite all the emotions happening.
Looks like we're going to be getting started in this second set. The Wawasee Warriors will be starting with the ball. Serving for the Warriors is going to be number 9, Hadley Allen. Allen's going to hit it over. It's going to be received by Amos. Creech is going to set that up for Adams. It's going to be sent back over by Gonzalez, and Shields got a touch before it went out.
Yeah, just missing that ball. We're going to watch a quick replay of it. Ooh, I don't know what just happened to my voice. Quick voice crack there. Yeah, she just got a little bit of a touch on the ball, unfortunately. I don't think there's much you could do with that.
Allen served the ball over. Creech setting it up for Adams, who's going to hit it. It's going to be sent back over. Creech setting up for Scolati, who tips it over and gets the point for the Cavemen.
Scolati, her first point of the set.
Serving for the Mishawaka Cavemen is going to be Cassie Creech. It's like Shorthill is going to send that over and out. Creech serving again for the Cavemen. Received by Shorthill.
Into the bench, but keeping it going.
Allen's going to get that over. Creech ready for there. It was on the other side, though. But Creech is going to set that up for Adams. It's blocked. And Laura Gonzalez is going to get the kill.
I didn't even think that was quite a kill there. Yeah, she just brought that right back over.
Oh, wow. It's like the Cavemen were a little bit scattered after such a long play, and they found the gap and took advantage. Number 12, Emily Ringler is going to be serving. Creech is going to get that to Lowry. It's blocked, though. Sent back over by Amos. Good recovery by the Cavemen. And they're going to get it blocked.
Scolati with that touch.
Speaking of Scolati, Scolati's going to be serving for the Cavemen.
You don't see her playing back row too often.
No, not very often. And her serve's going to go out.
Stuck in the bleachers, it looks like.
Yeah. The Wawasee Warriors are going to get the ball. Serving for the Warriors is going to be number 13, Zayla Shorthill.
Scolati's made it over to the bench. She seems quite excited.
Lowry is going to get that over. Creech setting it up for Lowry again, who's going to hit it and get the kill. Ellie Adams is going to be serving for the Cavemen. And it's going to be shanked by Berkeypile. Adams will get another serve for the Cavemen. Received by Berkeypile.
A lot of power behind
set
that.
up and then hit by Mock. And it looks like Shields going to get there in time.
The serve had a lot of power there.
Wawasee Warriors making a substitution. Dolson coming on for Mock, and Dolson will be serving. It's going to be received by Lowry. Creech is going to get that up to Adams, who gets a back row hit. Shields is going to receive it. Creech is going to give it to Lowry, who gets a hit. Looks like it's going to be sent over.
Yeah, the Warriors keeping it going.
Amos getting it back over. It's going to be sent over by Berkeypile. Shields is going to receive. Lowry is going to get a hit. And it's going to come off of the Warriors and out. Caveman point.
Get a quick replay of that.
Looks like the ball was at a bit of an angle, and so when the ball came off of it, it just went straight out instead of down. Lowry serving for the Cavemen. It's going to be hit back over by Klinke. Creech setting it up for Shields. Shields setting up for Creech, who hits it over. Berkeypile is going to set that up.
Under the net there. Number 6.
You know, we don't often see a hit by Creech. That was very impressive. Lowry's going to be serving for the Cavemen. And it's going to go into the net. Number 6, Jaden Klinke is going to be serving for the Wawasee Warriors. Received by Adam Hughes is going to set that up for Amos. And it's going to be shanked by the Warriors. Next up, serving for the Cavemen, Andy Shields. And she's going to serve it out.
Warriors down by 2.
Definitely, we've seen less consistency with the serves in this second set. In the first set, they were pretty good, but in the second set, we've had a couple net hits. It's going to be served over by Hardy. Creech is going to set that up for Amos. Adams going to get that to Creech, who hits it over. It's going to be hit by Gonzalez over to the Cavemen. Creech is going to get that set up for Scolati, who hits it out. Excuse me.
It's going to be a Caveman point, it looks like.
Yeah, good power on it for Scolati.
No, they called that a Warriors point.
Oh, yes. Hit out by Scolati. And that's going to be served out by number 11, Scarlett Hardy. Point for the Cavemen.
I wasn't quite sure if they touched it, if she touched it there.
Amos is going to be serving for the Cavemen. And it's going to go into the net. You know, Cam, I know during the break we talked a lot about how they had good consistency in this first set, but we aren't really seeing it here in the second set, making me a little nervous. The points are very close. It's certainly anyone's set still. Serving for the Wawasee Warriors is going to be number 9, Hadley Allen. And she's going to serve it out. Point for the Cavemen. Serving for the Cavemen is going to be Cassie Creech. Creech is going to send that over. It's going to be received by Shorto, set up, and hit by Mock. Creech is going to get that up to Shields,
keeping it
who
going.
sends it out.
You know, I got to give a quick shout out to Mr. Rundle. My phone is dead, and I kind of need it, so thanks for giving me a phone charger. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Serving for the Wawasee Warriors is number 12, Emily Ringler.
What a goat, man. What a goat.
It's going to be received by Shields. Creech is going to set it up. And Adams is going to get the kill. Another strong hit for her tonight.
Adams, way to go.
The first one, if you weren't tuned in or if you don't remember, she had an impressive hit in the first set where she hit it to the other player, but it literally knocked the other player off her feet because it was so powerful. Yet again, that was also another very powerful serve close to that first one.
Soren Scolati serving. Again, something you don't see often here.
It's going to be hit over, and the Cavemen are going to let it drop.
I need to see a replay of that one because I thought she got that, to be honest. Although we might not be able to see it because of this angle.
It's a powerful hit by Kenke.
I think she did get that. I mean, obviously it's rest all over me, but...
Creech is going to set that up for Adams with another kill.
Adams on fire tonight.
And those emotions must have her hyped up because she is hitting so hard tonight. Their wall even got a touch on that, but it wasn't even able to stop it. It went right through. Ellie Adams, speaking of which, is going to be serving. It's going to be received and sent over by Dolson. Received by Creech. Shields is going to set that up for Lowry. Sends it over. It's going to be Oh, and a good tip
What
by
a
Mock.
sneak up there on the Caveman. Was right next to Amos.
Looks like Mock saw that empty gap in the scattered Cavemen and was able to dump it in.
Barely. You know what? That might have been on accident, to be honest with you.
Maybe. It did seem to come off her hand a little weird.
Yeah.
Number 8, Berkeley Dolson is going to be serving for the Wawasee Warriors. Received and sent over by Adams. And there's going to be a competition at the
ball all over.
Competition at the net for the ball. Barthel ended up winning.
Yeah, replay
Both girls
that.
touched that at the same time, but Barthel got it.
Yeah. Yeah, she put her arms down right before Barthel did, and she was just able to get that push there.
Lowry served it over. It's going to be hit out by the Warriors. Lowry's going to get another serve for the Cavemen. Received by Creech is going to set that up for Amos, who gets the point.
I'm gonna be
So they
honest.
sent that straight into their wall and out.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to be honest here. I'm watching through the screen right now. I did not see any of that.
Lowry's going to be serving yet again for the Cavemen. And it's going to be an ace. Just skimmed the top of that net. Warriors weren't expecting it, and we ended up with the point.
Yeah, Lowry with the ace.
Lowry's going to serve it over again for the Cavemen. And another ace.
You know, Kira, we've talked so much this season that we're so in sync at this point.
Yes. Lowry's on fire. We're going to head to a timeout by the Wawasee Warriors here. We're going to go to an ad
The
break.
score currently 17-11, and we'll be back after the ad.
Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own Caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free.
Forte Waterproofing is celebrating over 60 years of satisfied customers. Experience, innovation, hard work, confidence, pride, honesty, integrity, determined, committed to achieve excellence. Fix it with Forte, fix it for good.
We're back here in the cave, play already starting, and that's already another point for the Cavemen. We're currently in the second set. The Cavemen won the first set 25-8. And the Cavemen are leading by 7 points, 18-11 in this second set. Hopefully they'll be able to pull through and secure the second set. Alex Lowry is serving yet again for the Cavemen. She's been on a serving streak recently, on fire. And she's going to get yet another ace. This is, what, her third ace in this one serving?
Actually, I think I might have gone out of bounds here. Yeah, that was out of bounds.
I don't know. It looked into me.
No, they are calling that inbounds. Never mind. The way Wawasee celebrated after, so I totally thought that was their point. I'm going to say they thought so too.
Lowry going to take a little break here. I think she's switching out balls.
Oh, yeah, must be a little flat.
I wouldn't be surprised with how hard she's been hitting them.
Yeah.
She's been, like I said, on
Girl
fire.
has it on fire.
Lowry's serving it over. Looks like the Warriors are going to return it. Number 6, Flinky. Creech setting it up for Amos, who gets the kill.
The Cavemen 20-11. Better play there from the Cavemen, especially Amos.
Amos definitely performing extremely well tonight. The Cavemen are currently 5 points away from winning this second set.
Yeah, Lowry's still going.
And it's going to be shanked by Hardy. And Cavemen are going to get the point, and that's another ace for Lowry. This has to be her fourth,
Yeah,
at least.
the GV team is getting hyped, Kira.
Definitely. It's really great to see them showing support for the upperclassmen, especially since that's going to be them someday.
Yeah.
People,
I know, time goes so, like, you know, people tell you all the time, like, time goes super fast, and
honestly, I never believed them, but as soon as
No.
I've hit high school here, it's been going by way too
oh
quick.
yeah, like, seriously, I sat down the other day and was like, oh my God, I'm 16, I'm going on 17. Time has gone crazy fast for us all. You know, class of 2026, class of 27, we're all buddies and they're leaving. Anyways, back to the game. That's a Mishawaka point. We're gonna get a quick replay of that.
Actually, Warrior point.
Warrior point, my bad.
Serving
Guess I
for the
should pay
Warriors
attention.
is going to be Dolson.
That's what I get for talking. Well, there we go. Caveman point, Kira.
Yes. Looks like Gonzalez got hit in the face there.
Ooh.
And, excuse me, Dolson was not serving. That was Clinky.
Oh,
Sixes
yeah.
and eights look very similar. But yeah, it looks like Gonzalez got hit in the face there.
Those six. Okay, I have never felt that way until this game, though. Like, it's something to, even 9, their 9 looks very similar.
Yeah, their numbers are definitely very close.
Yeah, they're hard to tell apart.
Serving for the Wawasee Warriors is going to be number 11, Scarlett Hardy. See in the background there, all the senior banners.
Yeah.
People worked very hard on those.
Yes. Yeah, I was with Cal Simon when she was cutting them out, and I helped her, you know, get the paper and get them in here. She started that 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Serving for the Mishawaka Cavemen is going to be Amos. Cavemen currently 2 points away from winning the set.
I'm surprised
Just
that
barely
still
got
going,
over
yeah.
by Short Hill. Just barely got that over. Adams is gonna get a kill though. Another strong hit by Adams. You know, I don't know. It must be these emotions or something. But
she's going crazy tonight.
Lowry and Adams and all the seniors have been performing so well tonight. The best we've seen them play, to be honest.
You know, like a lot of these girls, I know they probably want to play after high school, and I'm sure most of them will, but there's only like a 2% chance of going and playing for a team with a scholarship. You know, it's hard to do, so you got to think about it. Most of these girls, this probably will be their last time touching a volleyball, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mishawaka just won that second set, so we're going to head to a bit of a break here in between sets, and after, when we get back, we'll see you for the third set.
Warriors looking with green grass ahead of them. Touchdown, Cavemen.
Do it with me now. L-O-D! 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 L-O-D!
Welcome back to the Cave for senior night. The Mishawaka Cavemen are facing the Wawasee Warriors. The Mishawaka Cavemen won the first 2 sets. The first set they won 25-18, and the second set they won 25-14.
First set was
Excuse
actually
me, 25-8. 8,
Lot.
not 18.
Yeah, real fast when we have a second. Let's talk about Mishawaka football real fast. We see quite a few of the Cavemen football team in our crowd. So let's just talk about that real fast. We have the game tomorrow against Warsaw, and it is a huge, huge game for the Cavemen. This could end their winning streak in the season. Right now they're undefeated and in the NLC, and it could ruin their streak. It could continue their streak. I guess we'll find out, Kira.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a big game for the Cavemen, especially because the Warsaw football coach used to be a coach here. So, coming back to your old school, and I believe he didn't leave because of any animosity. As far as I know, his son was coaching over at Warsaw, so he decided to go over there, coach for his son a little bit. And we just got to see him back here in Steel Stadium for a great game tomorrow. And then the Cavemen have 2 more regular season games after that, being at Plymouth playing the Rockies, and then being at Wawasee the Wawasee Warriors playing at home this year.
We're going to get back into volleyball now. We're starting the 3rd set. If the Mishawaka Cavemen win this set, they win the game and their senior night game.
Yeah, we're hoping to get some interview after this.
Sent over by Creech. And sent over by Creech. Creech is going to set that up for Adams, who hits it over.
Barely keeping it going, but yeah, keeping it going.
Allen going to get that over for the Warriors. Shields setting that up for Adams.
You got this, Kira.
And it's going to be blocked by the Cavemen. And number 9, Hadley Allen is going to get a good dump.
I'm a little surprised they called that a Caveman point, I gotta be honest with you, or a Wawasee point. Because that was definitely out of bounds.
That was a Wawasee point.
Yeah, I'm surprised they called it a Wawasee point. Because it was out of bounds.
I don't know.
They might have
called it in.
I think they might have said that she touched it.
Looks like it's going to go off the tip of Lowry's fingers. Shields diving for that.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to the ref for that because I was watching the screen. I think they might have called that a touch just like they did there.
Serving for the Wawasee Warriors, number 9, Hadley Allen. It's going to be received by Lowry. Creech is going to get that up to Adams, who hits it into the net. Not a great start to this 3rd set, but Cavemen are really good at comebacks.
They absolutely are.
And 3 points really means nothing in this game.
No, absolutely not.
It's like it's going to be shanked by either Shields or Adams.
I think it might have been Adams. Let's watch that replay and see who it was.
I know Adams definitely said it was on her.
Oh, yeah, that was Adams there.
Allen serving again for the Warriors. And it's going to be shanked by Shields.
Yeah, Cavemen have to make sure they're getting under that ball. I've said it a few times in the last 2 games. If we can make sure we get under that ball, keep that platform nice and strong, we'll get there.
Yeah, 2nd shank in a row by the Cavemen. Coach Adams is probably wondering what's going on.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's
Sent
going
over
on.
by Allen. Just going to be able to receive that. Scolotti's going to get it over. going to be received. Creech is going to set that up for Adams, who gets a kill.
Cavemen first point on the board.
Once again, Adams hitting that so hard. It goes to a player, but the player can't even receive it because it's so hard hit.
And you know what? Sometimes that's what you got to do. It's working for her.
Speaking of Adams, she's going to be serving it. And it's going to be an ace. We've seen a lot of aces tonight.
Which isn't
we have
too
seen
typical for the Cavemen.
Seen some serves into the net as well, but definitely a lot more aces than usual, which is always good to see. Amos is going to get that up to Creech, send it over Scolati, who tips it over and gets a dump. Yeah, impressive seeing there for Scolati. She saw no one was there to cover, and she took advantage of that.
Fast thinking.
At least Adams is going to send that over. And the Warriors are just barely able to get together. Creech getting that up to Amos, who gets a kill. Ellie Adams will be serving again for the Mishawaka Cavemen. And almost shanked, but it looks like the basketball hoop saved them. Shields is going to get that to Creech, who sets up Amos, who gets the dump.
You know, I wonder what official ISSA rules are, because honestly, I'm not sure. I know a lot of places will say that if it touches the either nets or the hoops or whatever, that is considered out.
Really?
Yeah. All right, we just got some updates for other games going on. Girls soccer just finished winning boys, so it's about to start. The girls lost to ECA. No, the girls beat ECA 3-1. Way to go, girls soccer. Oh, more score updates coming in here.
In the meantime, Adams is going to serve it
And
over.
The boys are currently playing Tippy Valley.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I thought they were playing Wawasee. The boys on a winning streak. I say winning streak. They've won 4 games so far this season.
Which is a huge improvement from last year, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
I know, especially for the girls.
Last year being 0 is quite a bit of an improvement.
Yeah. I know the girls have had a way better season this year, too. And obviously, they just won their game, which is so great. I applaud them. They're doing a great job this season, and they've performed well.
Yeah, which I just got an update. It wasn't senior night for the girls like I thought, but it is senior night for the boys. So congratulations to all the soccer boys playing, and let's hope y'all can get another win under your belt. Yeah? You know, love seeing those improvements. Mr. Rundle and I were just talking about it earlier. NLC is one of the hardest soccer conferences to play in.
Most definitely.
You know,
the teams that are in our conference,
you know,
some
they're
of them,
top for soccer.
Some of them are state ranked.
Yeah, you know, we see it a lot in even volleyball, but soccer, NLC is just on a whole other level.
Yeah, just like top in the state. It's crazy.
Yeah. Whoa.
Looks like the Warriors are going to get the point there.
I was going to say, do we think they're going to call that a touch or a lift?
Good effort and
that
intensity.
Was definitely both.
Good effort and intensity by Scolati there, diving for the ball.
Definitely. I say it all the time. It is so much easier to sit up here and judge than it is to play.
Short Hill's going to send that over for the Warriors. Received by Lowry. Creech is going to get that up to Scolati, who gets the hit.
And out of bounds.
Point's going to go to the Warriors.
Yeah, the score now tied up 8-8. You know, we saw this last set, Kira, even though it ended 25-14. Most of the second set was very close.
It's very close. Short Hill sending it over and out.
Point for the Cavemen. Score now 9-8. The Cavemen leading by 1.
Scolati is going to be serving for the Cavemen. Not normally a server, but it's senior night. Anything can go.
Yeah, you know,
and it's going to go out.
I think we were just trying to get her some playing time on her last night. That's one thing that sucks. You know, even though most of these girls will go on to play collegiately, you know, like this is their last time all playing together.
Yeah, definitely. It can be a sad moment.
Yeah. bittersweet, that's for sure.
Serving for the Wawasee Warriors is number 8, Berkeley Dolson. It's going to be received by Shields. Creech is going to get that up to Lowry, who hits it out.
I'm getting a quick replay in here.
You know, as you could see in that replay, Creech setting that up perfectly. I don't think she gets enough credit, but just because she's not getting any kills doesn't mean she's not one of the best players on the team right now and on that court. Setting it up, super consistent, always giving our hitters plenty of opportunities. She is definitely a key player in this game, and she's going to be very dearly missed.
You know, it's really hard to tell, especially on a team like this, you know, really asking the question of who's the best player on the team. There's so many different things. You know, Creech with her assists, Shields with her receives. You know, in volleyball you have so many blockers, you have so many hitters. Like, you know, when those assists happen or those digs happen, like, we really glimpse over them.
Yeah, there really is no best player on the team. Each person is really good at each of their own things, and that makes them a great team.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about volleyball. There's so many different things that happen. You know, you gotta, you have to find the perfect matchup of people. You know, if you don't have, if one thing is off, that can ruin your entire volley.
Yeah.
Cassie Creech is gonna go down and dispute that real fast. And they're gonna keep the call. She's not happy about that one.
Creech always never afraid to advocate for her team.
Again, key part of that puzzle there.
Just barely received by the Cavemen, but they're going to get the point. Ellie getting the kill.
Replay.
Yeah, Cavemen just barely got that up, but then Ellie Adams was able to finish it off for them, even though it was a struggle. Shields is going to get that. Creech is going to set it up for Ellie, who gets the kill. Once again, so hard of a hit that even though it hit the wall, it still did not come back. Look at that. Andy Shields is going to be serving for the Cavemen. He's sent back over by Keelich and out. Shields is going to be serving once again for the Cavemen. Just barely kept in by the Warriors there. Creech is going to get that up for Amos. Looks like Allen's going to send that over for the Warriors. And Lowry's going to get the kill.
What a play there.
Like I said, these girls are just on fire tonight.
Yeah.
They're, as you can see in this replay, the power and precision she has on that ball is truly impressive. Andy Shields is going to be serving once again for the Cavemen. Looks like the Warriors just about able to keep that in. Shields is going to get it to Creech, who sets up Amos, who gets the kill.
What a play. Again, another part, you know, all the pieces of the puzzle, you fit them in correctly and you get a play.
These kills and aces tonight, I think these are the most we've seen out of the Cavemen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This season on this court.
Yeah, I agree
at
with
home.
you.
And that's going to be a block by Amos, but it looks like she might have been in the net there, and they're going to call that a Warrior point. Man, if she hadn't been in the net, that would have been such an impressive block. As you can see, one person just right there knew where it was going and ready to block Hardy's hit.
You know, I wish we had a camera that was just on the ref.
Yeah. Hardy's going to send that over for the Warriors.
Maybe we'll do that next season. Shout out, Mr. Rundle.
And it's going to be a kill by Amos.
Petition to get a ref cam next season, man. That, and I want a net, or I want a camera on the net like they do in like collegiate replays, I want to be able to see it. But that's money.
Sent back over by Keelich. Dug out of the net by Adams and sent over by
keeping it
Shields.
going.
Oh, that's going to be a kill by Short Hill.
The Cavemen 16-14 leading by 2.
That was an impressive recovery by the Cavemen, but Short Hill just such a powerful hit. They weren't able to recover in time.
Real fast when we have second. We keep talking about how this is senior night. Oh, this is one of the last games for the Cavemen, one of the last games. The Cavemen still have 2 more points. They're going to play at New Prairie Dunes Invite tomorrow. On Saturday, they're going to be at Niles Senior on Tuesday. Yeah, that's Tuesday. And then Jimtown on Thursday. And the 16th, they have their sectional at LaPorte High School.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about sectionals. Obviously, they're going to be at LaPorte. The 16th of October is going to be the first sectional games. The draw is going to be Sunday at 7 at LaPorte, like you said. The teams that will be in the sectionals is Mishawaka, LaPorte, Penn, Adams, Riley, and Michigan City.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know either, the Cavemen last year ended up going all the way to finals and unfortunately fell to the Kingsmen.
Definitely strengthening that rivalry there.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an impressive kill by Scolati. Like, these kills tonight are just out of this world.
The Cavemen need 6-7 more points to end the game.
Adams going to serve it over for the Cavemen. Oh, serve it into the net. Excuse me. Warriors are going to get the ball. Number 2, Sarah Cheng is going to be serving for the Wawasee Warriors. Cheng is going to get that into the net. 2 serves into the net in a row.
Again, the Cavemen just need 6-7 points to win the game.
Amos is going to be serving that for the Cavemen.
Kira.
It's going to be saved by the, confusing point there, but it's going to go to the Wawasee Warriors. What were you saying, Cam?
I was going to say, I've had all my bits going this season. I think they might have lost their flair. Nobody even noticing my jokes anymore.
6-7's getting a little old.
At least you noticed.
Creech is going to get that to Scolati, who gets the hit. He's sent over by Mock. Shields is going to get that to Creech, who sets up Lowry, who gets the kill.
What a play from Lowry. I think the only jokes that I've had better than my 6-7 jokes were my auctioneer bit. That was a great bit.
That was. Scolati is going to be serving for the Cavemen. This will be her 3rd serve of the night.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. And she's going to get an ace.
The score, 2016, the Cavemen up by 4.
Scolati is not normally a server. This is her first time that I've seen her serve is tonight. That was her 3rd serve. Her first 2 went out, but she ended up getting an ace on this one. Very good job by Scolati. This serve also goes over. Scolati's going to get that up. Creech setting it up for Lowry because Cheng sets that up and hit over by Dolson. Creech getting that to Scolati, who gets the hit and the kill.
Cavemen point, 22-16. 3 more points until the game is over, Kira.
There's a back row hit by Scolati, just about.
It's
very
impressive.
It takes a lot of power, and
Yeah.
Cheng really went for it, but she just couldn't get there in time.
And hopefully getting all the seniors in there soon. Oh,
Looks like
throwing some JV players.
we're
Not
sending
JV players,
in
but some juniors. Sending in the juniors.
Sending in a lot of the substitutions.
Yeah, the only senior left on the court is Scolati.
They're coming out.
Getting the juniors back in. I'm a little surprised.
Scolati sending it over and out. So in case you're not familiar with some of the players
Here
who
she
are,
is, getting the last of the juniors in there.
Yeah, in case you're not familiar with some of the players who are now on the court, we've got Barthel, we've got 8, Reisky, number 5, Ford, number 3, Keene, number 11, Steinman, and
number 5, Ford.
Yes, I believe I said that. I think so, maybe.
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Patterson is going to get the kill.
Then. Barthel, the only sophomore on the court. It looks like we might be seeing our starting lineup for next year, honestly.
Yeah, actually. Little sneak peek preview of what we're going to be seeing next year.
A block from Barthel.
And Mishawaka's going to get another point. 1 point away from winning. You know, this is good signs for next year, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Impressive performance, but it's been a short performance, but impressive so far. Hopefully, this will be good for next year, too.
Yeah.
Sent over by the Warriors. Keene's going to get that up to Reisky, who sets up Barthel.
The Cavemen win. Way to go. We're going to get a quick replay of that. Get that back in there.
Impressive play by Barthel there. The seniors and the varsity team slid onto their knees onto the court in celebration.
We just got to sit here for a minute. Even though it is senior night and this is the end of a chapter for the Cavemen, Miranda's last daughter to go through the program, 5 of the Cavemen starters leaving. It's bittersweet, Kira. This is a big opportunity for the juniors. We're going to see a lot of our juniors stepping up next season as seniors. Even some of our sophomores, they'll be juniors next year, stepping up in their position. It is definitely bittersweet to see them go, but it is definitely not the end of the Mishawaka Cavemen volleyball squad.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like all the seniors in the middle there with
all
the
the
pillow.
Seniors in the middle.
With the traditional pillow ceremony at the end of each game. I know this is definitely such a big deal for them and the JV team to have won these games on their senior night. It's so important to them.
Yeah, we're going to hit an ad break real fast. We're going to recollect, and then we'll come back hopefully with an interview.
Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own Caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Get your costumes ready for the Mishawaka Trunk or Treat. It's a safe, fun, and spooky good time for all elementary students. Join us Saturday, October 4th, held in the staff parking lot at Mishawaka High School from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. for an evening of treats, decorated cars, and costumes. The Mishawaka Education Foundation is looking for candy donations to help make this event a success. Your help makes a difference, and we'll see you there.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Forte Waterproofing is celebrating over 60 years of satisfied customers. Experience, innovation, hard work, confidence, pride, honesty, integrity, determined, committed to achieve excellence. Fix it with Forte, fix it for good.
Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Come and visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum and make sure to check out all of their different exhibits, such as their industries and businesses, church and faith, historic landmarks, military heritage, school, and their famous Mishawakans exhibit, including some of our very own caveman alumni, as well as a working model train set and a brand new exhibit, Treasures from our collection. Located at 121 South Main Street, doors are open every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. $5 for entry for adults, $3 for students, and kids under 5 enter for free.
Welcome back to this cave for our last broadcast. I'm here with all 5 of our Mishawaka seniors. We'll kind of go down the line. You know, this is your last home game. How do you guys feel? How do you feel to be done?
It's a love-hate relationship. I'm happy, but sad to leave all my friends that I grew up playing volleyball with. But it's life, and you have to get over it.
I think it's bittersweet. Like, it's starting a new chapter on my life, so that's pretty exciting. But I'm also, like, it's sad to, like, see, like, all my old friends and new friends, like, I have to leave them, so it's kind of upsetting.
Kind of like what Ellie said, I've been playing with these girls since like at least 7th and 8th grade, and it's sad to see them go, but it's good to start a new chapter in my life.
I definitely go off of what everybody else is saying. It's definitely sad, like, having to see each other go, but I'm definitely, like, excited for all of them and, like, their future, but it's definitely sad having to leave them since, like Andy said, we've played it with each other for so many years, and it just feels like we're so used to each other, to being around each other on the court, so it's definitely upsetting.
Definitely bittersweet. It feels like this time would never come, like watching all the other senior nights, and then like now knowing it's ours and like we don't have another home game here. It's just like taking it all in, like it's upsetting.
Yeah, all right. Well, I know it is definitely bittersweet, and I wish you girls all the best. Do you have anything that you guys want to say to your fans? We have a lot of them watching.
Okay, man.
Come to sectionals. Let's beat Penn.
All right, and that is all for our 2025 season. Again, these are our 5 seniors, and we'll be back next year.